program pembasuh luka Palestina. Kepada moderator dan para narasumber sesi 2, kami silakan untuk dapat naik ke atas panggung.
الآن دعونا نستمع معا إلى الجلسة الثانية من الحوار الدولي تحت العنوان غسل الجروح فلسطين. ندعو المنسق والمتحدثين في هذه الجلسة للصعود إلى المنصة.
Next, let's see the International Talk Session 2, Distribution of Pembasuh Luka Palestina Program. To our moderator and our distinguished speaker, we invite you to come to the stage. Dan panel sesi 2 ini akan dimoderatori oleh Deputi 2 Baznas Republik Indonesia, Bapak Dr. Muhammad Imdadut Rahmat MSI, dan juga dengan narasumber kita yaitu Jordan Hashemite Charity Organization, King Hussein Cancer Foundation, Hayrat Yardim, UNRWA.
المنسق في هذه الفقرة هو نائب الرئيس الثاني لبزنس الأستاذ الدكتور محمد إمداد الرحمة، وكذلك اللي سيكون المتحدثين هم الممثلين من المنظمة الأردنية الهاشمية الخيرية، مؤسسة الملك حسين للسرطان، خيرات يارديم، وأخيرا وكالة الأمم المتحدة لإغاثة وتشغيل اللاجئين الفلسطينيين.
Kepada moderator Bapak Dr. Muhammad Imdadut Rahmat MS selaku Deputi 2 Baznas Republik Indonesia, kami silakan untuk memulai jalannya panel sesi 2 International Talks siang hari ini. To Mr. Dr. Imdadut Rahmat MS as moderator, we welcome you to start the panel.
Terima kasih. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bismillah walhamdulillah. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Sayyidina Muhammad Rasulillah wa ala alihi wa ashabihi wa man tabi'a sunnatahu wa walah. La hawla wa la quwata illa billah. Wa ba'd. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Muhammad Imdadun Rahmat, the Deputy of Distribution of Baznas. Thank you for joining us to all participants. Because after lunch it's a very hard time because we are a little bit sleepy, little bit tired, but thank you very much for still stay join us. And it's a very pleasure to continue our second session, and the topic is very interesting. It will be how to strengthen international partnership for Palestinian humanitarian relief. And ladies and gentlemen, we have distinguished speakers and panelists. We welcome Mr. Wissam from Jordan Hashemite Charity Organization, and Miss Madeline from King Hussein Cancer Foundation from Jordan. Ahlan wa sahlan. And Mr. Abdullah Yardim from Hayrat Yardim from Turkey, and Mr. Jan Patrick Snell from UNRWA. Bapak Ibu sekalian, siang hari ini para narasumber akan memberikan paparan tentang profil lembaga mereka masing-masing dan juga program-program yang telah dilakukan oleh masing-masing institusi, masing-masing lembaga, dan rencana apa yang akan dilakukan untuk Palestina dan dunia Islam, serta perbincangan yang tidak kalah penting terkait dengan bagaimana kita memperkuat kerjasama, koordinasi, dan juga memperkuat impact atau dampak dari bantuan-bantuan kita, serta bagaimana ini bisa sustainable dan juga bisa terjamin akuntability-nya. Ini hal yang akan menjadi diskusi kita siang hari ini. Ladies and gentlemen, we come together here because we have a strong commitment to address the ongoing humanitarian crisis in Gaza, Palestine. We need to strengthen partnership, of course, and Baznas seeks to reinforce solidarity and coordinated action to alleviate the suffering of Palestinian communities affected by conflict, but not only conflict, but also occupation, colonialism, and human rights violation, even gross violation of human rights, including crime against humanity, ethnic cleansing, and also genocide. So this session will provide a platform of partnership between Baznas and organization. Four of our partners come together in the stage, and will share their initiative, insight, and collaborative strategies in support of Gaza humanitarian needs. And we will answer 3 questions. The first one is how we reinforce humanitarian partnership. So we will discuss about how to foster a stronger and more cohesive international partnership network among Baznas and its partner organization, promoting effective resource mobilization and aid distribution in Gaza. And the second question is how to enhance coordination and impact. We need to exchange best practices and successful intervention models among partners organizations, ensuring that humanitarian assistance reaches the most vulnerable communities effectively and also effectively. And the last one is how to foster long-term commitment and also accountability. Ladies and gentlemen, let's us to invite the first speaker today, to Mr. Wasim, and time is yours. Tafadhal, mashkura.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. سوف أتحدث عن الهيئة الخيرية الأردنية الهاشمية ومدى التعاون بيننا وبين بزناس وبعض المنظمات الأخرى. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Jordan Hashemite Charity Organization, JHCO, it's an honor to address this distinguished forum and share our ongoing commitment to supporting the Palestinian people, especially in Gaza. JHCO has a long-standing history of providing essential aid to the Palestinian community, offering steady support before, during, and after times of conflict. In the years leading up to the recent escalation, JHCO has been actively engaged in various humanitarian initiatives, supplying critical resources such as food, medical supplies, and other necessities to the people of Gaza and the Palestinian region. These efforts were driven by our mission to reduce suffering and provide for the basic needs of those affected by prolonged challenges. Following the recent conflict, JHECO intensified its response efforts, recognizing the urgent need for expanded humanitarian support. Jordan launched emergency relief programs, sending additional land convoys and airdrops of medical supplies, food, and essential items to address the immediate needs arising from the crisis. More than 60,000 tons of aid have been sent to Gaza since last year. The aid packages included specialized medical equipment, essential medicines, hygiene kits, ready meals, flour, meat, and many more supplies to support families and rebuild affected communities. Our partnership with Baznas has been invaluable in enhancing the impact of our initiatives, enabling us to reach more beneficiaries and extend our assistance effectively. This collaboration has enhanced our logistical capabilities and underscored a shared commitment to standing in solidarity with the Palestinian people. Together, JHECO and Baznas continue to work hand in hand to ensure that the humanitarian needs of Palestinians, both within Jordan and in the occupied region, are met. JHECO, in collaboration with Baznas, has successfully implemented many projects to support Palestinian people, particularly in Gaza. In 2024, a project aimed at benefiting 7,800 individuals was launched to address essential medical and nutritional needs. In 2023, a similar initiative supported 13,035 individuals, providing vital healthcare service through a mobile clinic. Additionally, between 2018 and 2019, JHECO executed a project focused on essential food and health services, which included the distribution of 145,997 packages to Palestinian families. This sustained support has been crucial in addressing both immediate and long-term needs, demonstrating the impact of the JHECO Baznas partnership is in fostering, realizing, and stability for Palestinians' need. We remain steadfast in our mission to provide sustained support, helping families in Gaza and beyond to region stability and hope in the aftermath of conflict. Finally, I would like to thank Baznas and all our partners for their dedication to this cause, and we look forward to strengthening our cooperation further to serve those in need. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Tambahan informasi Bapak Ibu sekalian bahwa JHCO merupakan partner dari Baznas sejak 5 tahun yang lalu. Jadi bukan hanya sekarang saja, tetapi sudah tahun-tahun yang lalu kami menitipkan bantuan kepada penduduk Palestina yang ada di tepi barat, program-program seperti pemotongan hewan kurban, al-udhiyah, juga mobile klinik. Jadi Baznas bersama JHCO menyediakan layanan kesehatan untuk pengungsi Palestina dalam bentuk mobil rumah sakit kecil. Dan ini akan berlanjut untuk kerjasama support kepada saudara-saudara kita di Gaza. I add some information about our partnership with your institution and Baznas in Filmadi in Pastai. Thank you, Mr. Wissam. And second speaker will be Miss Madeline. تفضل.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. الحضور الكرام، السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بداية أتقدم بجزيل الشكر والامتنان لمؤسسة بازناس على استضافتها الكريمة لهذا المؤتمر الإنساني المهم الذي يجسد روح التضامن مع فلسطين والعالم الإسلامي. كما أخص بالشكر البروفيسور نور أحمد وفريق عمل بازناس على جهودهم المتميزة وعملهم الدؤوب لإنجاح هذا الحدث وتعزيز الوعي الإنساني حول القضايا العادلة. وأتوجه بخالص الشكر لدولة أندونيسيا قيادة وشعباً على دعمها الثابت والمستمر لأهلنا في فلسطين، موقف يعكس أسمى معاني الأخوة الإسلامية والتضامن الإنساني. ولا يمكنني الوقوف هنا دون أن أتحدث عن الأردن، هذا الوطن العزيز الذي كان ولا يزال العصب النابض لفلسطين. لقد فتحت المملكة الأردنية الهاشمية أبوابها لإخواننا الفلسطينيين منذ النكبة، منذ عام 1948، واحتضنتهم كجزء لا يتجزأ من نسيجها الوطني. لقد كان الأردن دائماً الأقرب لفلسطين جغرافياً، تاريخياً، إنسانياً، فمواقفه الثابتة في دعم القضية الفلسطينية هي مصدر فخر لنا جميعاً. الأردن بقيادته وشعبه الأصيل يحمل على عاتقه مسؤولية الدفاع عن القدس والمقدسات الإسلامية والمسيحية، ويواصل تقديم الدعم للأشقاء الفلسطينيين في كل الميادين. هذا العطاء المستمر يعبر عن روح الأخوة الصادقة التي تربط الشعبين، وهو تجسيد حي لمعنى التضامن والتكاتف الذي يجب أن يسود بيننا جميعاً. وفي هذا السياق تأتي جهود مؤسسة الحسين للسرطان لتكمل هذه المسيرة الإنسانية النبيلة، حيث فتحت المؤسسة أبوابها لاستقبال مرضى السرطان من غزة الذين يعيشون معاناة مضاعفة تحت وطأة الاحتلال والظروف الاقتصادية الصعبة. اليوم ومع وجود 9000 مريض سرطان في غزة يفتقدون أدنى مقومات العلاج والحياة، أطلقت مؤسسة الحسين للسرطان حملة لجمع التبرعات لدعمهم في وقت تستعد فيه المؤسسة ومركز الحسين للسرطان لاستقبال 300 مريض جديد سنوياً. لا يقتصر هذا الدعم على العلاج الطبي فحسب، بل يشمل أيضاً الإقامة، الرعاية النفسية والاجتماعية، لضمان تقديم رعاية شاملة تعيد لهم الأمل والحياة. السيدات والسادة الكرام، إننا اليوم بحاجة إلى توحيد الجهود، لأن معاناة أهلنا في غزة هي معاناتنا جميعاً. نأمل أن نكون جميعاً شركاء في تخفيف هذه المعاناة. تبرعاتكم ودعمكم وشراكتنا مع بازناس ستكون السبب في إنقاذ حياة الكثير من المرضى وإعادة الأمل لعائلات بأكملها. شكراً على الدعوة الكريمة لحضور المؤتمر. نسأل الله أن يوفقنا جميعاً لخدمة الإنسانية وتخفيف معاناة الكثير من المحتاجين. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
20 years since the establishment of the leading cancer center in the UNRWA. 20 years of the best medical minds gathered under one roof. 20 years celebrating strength, survival, and new beginnings. Bearing the name of Jordan's legendary leader, the King Hussein Cancer Center was established by King Abdullah II with a mission to provide the most advanced cancer care to every Jordanian and every Arab patient. Our internationally accredited center provides integrated space for patient care, education, and research. Our patient-centered approach to cancer care is enabled by our highly qualified medical team. In state-of-the-art facilities, which offer privacy and comfort, and an outdoor sanctuary to promote healing. Children at AHCC receive special attention in child-friendly spaces dedicated to treatment, recreation, and continuing education. KHCC Jewel on the Crown, its bone marrow transplantation program, is one of the largest in the Middle East and is able to perform 300 procedures annually with success rates commensurate with international standards. Our center is equipped with the most advanced cancer care technology available, including a cutting-edge robotic surgery system, the first of its kind in Jordan, and an innovative brain map which integrates the most sophisticated brain navigation system with advanced MRI technology. Our cell therapy and applied genomics lab delivers highly advanced personalized medicine through cellular therapeutic and genomics-based technologies. It is home to the only public umbilical stem cell bank in Jordan. KCC is certified as a teaching hospital for hundreds of medical students at Jordanian universities, and our education and training academy has made the KHCC a regional hub for superior oncology training through its academic offerings. KHCC recognizes research and innovation as the future of the fight against cancer at both the individual and institutional levels. To advance these efforts across the region, we launched the King Hussein Award for Cancer Research in 2020. Our efforts have no boundaries. The King Hussein Cancer Foundation supports the treatment of thousands of underprivileged patients, including refugees, through our goodwill funds. Looking to the next 20 years and to ensure that no one will be required for treatment due to lack of capacity, KHCC is embarking on several groundbreaking expansion efforts. Satellite centers providing accessible care to patients across Jordan through the construction of a new center in Aleppo named in honor of His Majesty King Abdullah II, a standalone pediatric center in Amman, and a new ambulatory care center with integrated research department. This is our story, a Jordanian institution that has grown into a world-class, life-saving cancer center. This is the legacy
Bapak Ibu sekalian, selain apa yang tadi dipresentasikan oleh Miss Madeline, salah satu hal yang ditawarkan kepada publik Indonesia, termasuk kepada Baznas, adalah partnership untuk menyelamatkan survivor, para penyintas kanker dari Gaza, anak-anak dan perempuan yang berhasil dievakuasi dari Gaza ke Jordan untuk diobati. Kami mengundang mitra-mitra Baznas untuk yang punya concern bisa bergabung, mensupport tawaran kerjasama dari King Hussein Cancer Foundation. Bapak Ibu, selanjutnya kita akan lanjut ke pembicara ketiga, the third speaker from Hayrat Yardim from Turkey. Please, Mr. Abdullah Yardim. Al-Fursah, lak, tafadhal.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thanks a lot, Ustaz. First of all, I would like to thank you, Baznas, to bring to here and to discuss about the Palestine issue, discuss about more collaboration between the NGOs and make the awareness of that issue. Jazakallah khairan. And I would like to thank you also, Dr. Mukhlis, and also I would like to thank you, Dr. Muhammad Mahdoum. There was 1 month ago we came to Indonesia and we met with Dr. Mukhlis and Muhammad Mahdoum, and we discussed about the issue of the Ummah, and we have seeking to make the collaboration with the Baznas as a Hayrat. My name is Abdullah I from Hayrat 8, and I am working more than 8 years in the Hayrat 8 site. I'm the vice president of the Hayrat 8. Actually, Malaysia and Indonesia is my second home, because more than 3 years I have been in Malaysia for my master degree in IIUM, and alhamdulillah we have our alumni in here. As a Hayrat, in 2013 established in Turkey, within the 10 years we have reached the operation, the country is more than 84, because the Hayrat is not has just 10 years experience. We have been working with the Hayrat Foundation, Waqful Hayrat, and this foundation has experience more than 100 years. We have been mainly working 9 programs through the emergency aid to health center, Ramadan, the Qurban, orphan sponsorship, the wars with the Quran. I know you and we are so tired because of now we are going to end of the day. And I would like to thank you all the participants, all the partners, and I would like to thank the Baznas team and making so hard working. Thank you so much. And also I have to say that there is many partners, many NGOs is working for the humanity. And there is many partners working for the Palestine brothers. But I have to say one thing. Now there is some our Palestine brothers, now they are staying there. My deepest and sincerity apologize to them. Yes, we have been working more than years for the Palestine. We have doing the humanitarian work and we are trying to our best. But we know it is not enough. And now here, from the Turkey, as your brothers, I am apologize the Palestine brothers and sisters. We didn't make enough work for you. That's the things I would like to say it. There is many things, but there is no word to explain that situation. The Ustaz, you asked one question, how we make the strength, partnership and together. I don't want to take your time more. I know you are so tired, but I would like to emphasize one thing. The purpose to bring to here today is the challenges and the humanitarian crisis in Palestine, Sudan, Myanmar, Syria, and many other regions and of the Islamic world. There are numerous opinions and writings that explore the root cause of this crisis, brother. Here, I would like to remind you of the timeless idea present by Bediüzzaman Said Nursi in his speech at the time Umayyah Mosque in Damascus in 1911. Let's listen. Imam Said Bediüzzaman Said Nursi identified 6 diseases as the cause of the Muslim wars decline despite the vast progress. First, the revival of the despair within us. Second, the removal of the truthlessness from political and social life. Third, the love to be hostile against each other. Fourth, not knowing the spiritual bonds that ensure our unity and our solidarity. 5, oppressions. 6, thinking one's self-interest. Those are our sicknesses, and those caused by to not make good relationship between the partners to partners, countries to country, city to city, people to people. And I would like to just emphasize one disease, which is the despair among these 6. Despair is the most dreadful disease that has entered the heart of the Islamic world, unfortunately. It is despair that has destroyed our noble moral and shift our focus from the public interest to personal interest. And it is despair that has destroyed our spiritual strength. And one thing, brother and sister, since this disease has caused us such a big harm and continue to destroy us, we must take revenge on this murder by eliminating it with the sword of verses. Do not despair of Allah's mercy. La taqnatu min rahmatillah. We will sharpen the head of the despair, and with the truth of the hadith, what cannot be achieved in it is entirely should not be abandoned entirely. I think those are the points, Doctor, we should consider about it, and we should take the action about it. There is many pages about the Hayrat aid, what's the opinion, but I don't follow the normal information. Just, I want to say something, if you give me allow. Dear brother and sister, we have done nothing for our Muslim brothers and sisters. Yes, we have done many things for the humanity, like in many countries. When we are speaking about the human right, we are working all over the world. In African side, in Balkans, Europe, East Asia, the Central Asia. But for the Muslim brothers, I want to emphasize one thing, brother and sister. What we have watched in the morning, those are the not cut of the movie. Those imagine is not come by the Hollywood. Those videos, those pictures happening in this real life. And for to make this strengthening to partners, I just want to say one thing. Let's give the promise. Let's make the raise our song. Free Palestine, and free Palestine. Jazakallah khairan.
Thank you, Mr. Abdullah. Thank you very much, Mr. Abdullah. Bapak Ibu sekalian, Hayrat Yardim akan menjadi partner kita di dalam pendistribusian, penyaluran bantuan kemanusiaan ke Gaza. Tadi beliau share common values, juga mengutip banyak nilai-nilai luhur dari Syekh Said Nursi. Saya kira ini bisa menjadi spirit yang memperkuat komitmen kita semua. Bapak Ibu sekalian, selanjutnya kita akan undang narasumber terakhir siang hari ini, yaitu Mr. Jean Patrick Snell dari UNRWA. UNRWA, Bapak Ibu sekalian, adalah lembaga PBB yang diberikan mandat untuk menangani pengungsi Palestina di berbagai negara untuk melayani kebutuhan-kebutuhan dasar dan melakukan pemenuhan hak-hak dasar sebagai orang yang terusir dari negerinya, dari tanahnya, dan menjadi orang yang mengungsi tanpa memiliki negara. Ini luar biasa tugas dari UNRWA, dan oleh karena itu Baznas telah menyatakan dukungannya untuk mensupport UNRWA untuk bisa terus secara sustainable menjalankan tugas-tugasnya. Ladies and gentlemen, the last but not least, please welcome to Mr. Jean Patrick Snell from UNRWA. Time yours.
Thank you so much. It's truly a pleasure to be here in Jakarta today, coming directly from Jerusalem, and after barely 2 days in the city, I wish I could say Indonesia is my second home. It's not. Maybe in the future. No, but I would really like to thank Baznas for inviting UNRWA to be present in this distinguished panel. I'm happy to be representing my agency here, and I'm also very grateful for Baznas, to Baznas, and all the other partners here for the solidarity to Palestine and the Palestinian people. This is really, I think, testament to the shared commitment, particularly at these days in supporting Gaza. Gaza is a unrelenting dystopian horror. We've heard that today, we know that from the news, and it requires strengthened partnerships. So I think this forum is really timely and will help to build a shared cause. Allow me to maybe touch upon 3 issues that relate to also your questions. So first, I would like to provide some more context on the situation in Gaza, also the way we as the United Nations see it. Then UNRWA's response, so what is it that we're doing to help to relieve this very difficult situation? And finally, third point, partnerships. So how can we work together? On the first point, the situation in Gaza, 13 months into this war, like most people have been moving around several times and are in the move, they haven't found safety or even a moment of rest. The numbers are staggering. We know them. 1.9 million people are displaced, most of them multiple times, and this constitutes 90% of the population in the Gaza Strip. In late October, late last month, our colleagues at the United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization, FAO, and at WFP, the World Food Programme, issued their latest hunger hotspot alert. And in this alert, Gaza was mentioned as one of 5 territories globally facing the highest levels of food insecurity. Shortly thereafter, in early November, the IPC Famine Review Committee also issued yet another report confirming imminent famine in parts of northern Gaza. Meanwhile, our OHCHR colleagues in Geneva, the colleagues of the High Commissioner for Human Rights, issued their 6-month update. And this is the one with the clearest messages and the strongest language to date. And among the many things they stated in this particular report is that 70% of the people killed are women and children. This is clearly demonstrating that we are looking at gross violations of international law. But we're talking about Gaza here, and I thought it would be good to have one of my colleagues actually in Gaza talk to us directly. So we have asked a colleague to shoot a short video that I hope we'll be able to display now. Bear with me, it's been shot with a mobile phone camera. It's very simple, but shows the day of one of my colleagues and how he survives and how he is working to help others. So if colleagues could maybe show the video, that would be great.
Suaranya? The volume. Yeah. Okay.
Great, thank you. The video starts by this colleague actually filming his own shoes that he's been wearing for a year and that are basically broken. And he says, despite the fact that he has a job and he's paid, he's unable to even buy shoes because they're simply not available. So what does UNRWA do to help? I mean, we've been in the Gaza Strip for a long period of time. So when the war broke out, we were able to switch from our regular mode of operation to one of humanitarian assistance quite quickly. And currently, UNRWA carries 50% of the overall humanitarian response in Gaza. We have a total of 13,000 staff. One of them just shared this video with us. I would like to highlight 4 areas that are critical to our response. These are namely healthcare, education, food, and water and sanitation. So in terms of healthcare, we've been able, despite the very difficult circumstances, to provide 6.3 million consultations since the onset of the war, with our 1,200 health workers that are present in the Gaza Strip. In terms of education, today 660,000 children are out of school. They remain out of school. UNRWA in August this year started a Back to Learning campaign, helping them to get some sort of formal gathering and learning and psychosocial support, which is the focus of this campaign at this point. We saw some pictures of a makeshift classroom with children in the video just now. In terms of food and food security, UNRWA has been able to distribute food parcels to 1.2 million people in the Strip, and on behalf of other UN agencies, another 1.4. So this is also, like most of the response in Gaza, built on partnerships where different organizations with different strengths come together. And finally, one highlight from our WASH, our water and sanitation program, is that we were able to rehabilitate 8 water wells with drinkable water, which 600,000 people in the Strip are able to access, and which produce 80 million liter waters per month. Beyond these dedicated areas, UNRWA also manages the entire fuel distribution in the Gaza Strip for UN agencies, and all UN shelters in Gaza are UNRWA shelters. So previously schools or other UN installations that were turned into shelters, and where we have dedicated shelter management teams that try to make the situation as bearable as possible, despite the fact that the situation on the ground is still difficult to bear if you think about especially sanitation. So let me turn to partnerships, because none of this would be possible without partnerships. UNRWA relies on partners like Indonesia, like Baznas, to carry out its work. And I'm proud to say that UNRWA is partnering with many of the organizations that are present here today in order to carry out its work. But let me be a little bit more specific about our partnerships relating to here. Like with Indonesia, with the government of Indonesia, we actually have a partnership that dates back to 1952. So we've been working jointly as partners for a long period of time, and now, during times of crisis, Indonesia stepped up its support dramatically by providing medical supplies and by also increasing, by a large amount, its financial support to the agency, which we truly appreciate. There is another component which today for UNRWA is very important, which is international advocacy on behalf of the constituency that we serve, Palestine refugees, but also on behalf of UNRWA itself, because we are under attack. And in this regard, Indonesia has been extremely helpful in advocating, especially in multilateral fora like the OIC, the non-aligned movement, G77, and others. And with Baznas, I think our partnership dates back to 2018. So we've been working together at the start for our Dignity is Priceless campaign, and we are very grateful for the support that we received. And I'm also very happy to hear the pledge towards UNRWA made today, which will allow us to implement new and more programs that are so direly needed. Beyond this, I think there is a general sense, and I think this is also the intention of this forum, to strengthen partnerships in various directions and multi-layered. And I think three areas that we should focus on are advocating jointly to increase global awareness and mobilize resources for Palestine and Palestine refugees, to enhance coordination to address immediate needs and long-term needs. And I'm very happy to see that Baznas is also planning ahead with a three-stage plan, which includes obviously emergency response, but also recovery and reconstruction, which at some point will be a tremendous task for all of us. And then finally, jointly to scale up successful intervention, because the humanitarian aid, at least, that is entering the Gaza Strip at this point is definitely not enough. Maybe to conclude, just to say that the current crisis in Gaza is a humanitarian crisis, but I think it's also really a test of our collective humanity that we need to rise up to. And I thank everyone here, I think, who's willing to join this effort. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Jen, and thank you for comprehensive delivering presentation. Bapak Ibu sekalian, beliau tadi menyampaikan berbagai program yang dilakukan dan menginformasikan bahwa berpartner dengan Baznas sudah sejak 2018 dan memang agak terputus, dan alhamdulillah kita bisa nyambung lagi dengan UNRWA dan kita bisa menghadirkan top representatif dari UNRWA. Jadi ini kita perlu alhamdulillah kita bisa berpartner kembali, karena UNRWA selain berperan sebagai penyedia kebutuhan-kebutuhan dasar dari para pengungsi, juga punya fungsi strategis sebagai pemberi informasi terkait dengan soal human right, ya, tentang hak anak-anak, hak perempuan, dan pelanggaran-pelanggaran international law, ya, pelanggaran hukum-hukum internasional yang dilakukan oleh Israel. Oleh karena itu punya dua nilai strategis sekaligus. Yang pertama sebagai humanitarian agency, tetapi juga sebagai penjaga implementasi dari hak asasi manusia, human right for Gaza and Palestine people. Saya kira Bapak Ibu sekalian, kami mengundang para partner Baznas untuk kita terus menguatkan kerjasama untuk menolong saudara-saudara kita di Palestina. Bapak Ibu sekalian, tiba saatnya kita diskusi. Kami persilakan kepada audiens untuk tunjuk tangan. Kami persilakan kepada 3 penanya untuk lebih memperdalam aspek-aspek yang menurut Anda penting, ya, bagaimana kita memastikan efektif dan efisien. Efektif itu manfaatnya banyak, efisien tidak mahal, tetapi tidak mahal murah, ya, dan juga soal akuntability-nya. Ini hal yang penting bagi kita sebagai lembaga Islamic Philanthropy, karena public trust itu terkait erat dengan soal akuntability. Kami persilakan Bapak Ibu. Silakan penanya pertama, kedua yang memakai batik, dan yang ketiga bolehkah ada suara perempuan? Boleh. Agar zakat vote is not only from Rijal but An-Nisa also. Tafadhal. Tidak ada yang dari perempuan? Terima kasih. Dua penanya. Kami persilahkan. Ya.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Kami dari Sumatera Barat, khususnya dari Kabupaten Agam, ingin menanyakan beberapa hal. Kami ke Baznas Pusat saja. Kita tahu bahwa zakat infak yang kita kumpulkan itu dari muzaki, munfik, mutasodik yang ada di kabupaten kota kita. Kemudian kita kirimkan ke Baznas dengan harapan sampai kepada saudara kita di Gaza. Alhamdulillah kami dari Baznas Kabupaten Agam Sumatera Barat, walaupun tidak banyak, tapi ada 800 juta lebih yang sudah kita kirim gitu. Namun ada beberapa hal yang perlu kami sampaikan, bahwa kalau kita sudah solidarity, tentu safety-nya perlu kita utamakan. Bagaimana perlindungan terhadap truk-truk yang membawa komoditi, baik pangan maupun obat-obatan, itu aman dia sampai ke Gaza. Kita dengar ataupun kita baca di berita, beberapa hari ini ada 95 truk yang hilang di Gaza itu. Dari 106 truk yang membawa makanan dan obat-obatan itu hilang. Jadi bagaimana kita menjelaskan atau membangun kepercayaan kepada para munfik kita. Itu barangkali yang perlu kami tanyakan melalui Baznas RI. Tentu juga ada respon nanti dari UNRWA. Saya juga membaca beritanya dari sana yang menginformasikan juga adalah UNRWA. Terima kasih. Billahi taufiq wal hidayah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Terima kasih. Biar yang menyalurkan, yang menjadi mitra penyalur menjawab, apakah aman atau tidak? About ensuring humanitarian aid is safe. Fadhal.
So thank you for the question. I think it touches upon a critical issue that all of us are facing when delivering aid to Gaza. And the way we at UNRWA would frame it is humanitarian access. And like this access has two components really that are difficult for us. The first one is to actually cross the borders, so to have Israel clear the goods, no matter from where they actually come, to go into the Gaza Strip, which at this point is at an all-time low, really. You might know the numbers from prior to the war, where on average 500 trucks entered the Gaza Strip with goods. The numbers I have for October are 37 trucks per day. So 500 to 37, which shows not much goes in. The second challenge then is once they have crossed, how do they remain safe and go to the warehouses from where the goods can be distributed? And here, increasingly, we've been witnessing a breakdown of public order, which leads sometimes to looting, which is one issue. The other issue is military attacks, despite the fact that all humanitarian partners do what we call deconfliction. So we announce to the conflict parties where we are going to move when, and once we have the green light to move, we do. Despite this, despite the green light, many of our colleagues actually got under fire while moving, which is a huge challenge then to moving things around, even if we're just talking about South Gaza. I'm not even talking about the north or crossing between the two, which is yet another challenge. So I'm outlining for you the operational challenge that we're facing in the Gaza Strip. And what we are doing is we're calling on the parties to enable us to do our work. because like this is the only way to go forward. And at this point, the main ask that we have is for an immediate ceasefire, because without that, we will not be able to reach the level of humanitarian aid that's absolutely required. I hope that's a comprehensive answer.
If you allow me, I will also add something about it. Normally, that questions came not just the representative, also that question came from the people, from the public. And even in the Turkey, there is many operation which we make the fundraising from the publics and for the Gaza. And all those donation is based on the condition. It means if you get that donations for the Gaza, you should spend for the Gaza. So it is so sensitive question, and it's so rightful question actually for the people who don't know the operation as we are, because we are working on the table at the same time, so we know the background work, on the field work. So just I would like to add one thing. As a Baznas, which work like the government, under the government, as a Hayrat Aid has the public certificate, means the working for the public. We are telling to the donors, and we know it, if you are working with your government, and if there is the audit from the government side, or the which they already take the status for the publics, and with the UNRWA, the others. And all the details, all the papers, document is under the control. That's what I would like to mention. Because otherwise, there is many thousands the people which even they don't have the audit system. Like I checked the Baznas, they have the audit system, the other things. If you are working for the Europe, also they have the audit system. So the main words we are telling to our brothers, because it is like the amana from the Muslim people society, and we are saying that everything is under the document, under the control, and we are aware, and this amount, it will be the zakat, it will be the sadaqah, is the amana, and we are holding the amana. That's why it should be the audit, and through the work, through the government organization. Thank you.
I also want to add to my colleagues what you're all saying. How do we know is it safe for the trucks to reach to Gaza? It's the same issue for us at the King Hussein Cancer Center. How can we make sure to get a cancer patient out of Gaza? Nobody can make sure of anything. We are all facing, the whole world is facing one of the worst enemies to humanity, Israel. And they don't care. People are getting hungry, cancer patients are dying, they simply don't care. And as you said, what we're seeing on TV is like a Hollywood movie. For us, we have some cancer patients who are currently on the waiting list, and we are waiting to get them out. We cannot get them out. We are cooperating with organizations inside Palestine who support us. Some of them are in Beit Lahem, and they have connections to the borders to Gaza to get them out. We are cooperating through the Hashemite. We are both from Jordan, and our two organizations, we cooperate together. We are getting the help of the royal court of their majesties, the king and the queen. So all these efforts are there to support in saving lives of people, in helping people in Gaza, in Palestine. But how can we be sure? Nobody is sure. It's all difficult. Sometimes we have patients who almost get to the borders of Gaza and then they die. We can't save them. We can't get them out. And as I said in the press conference, when the war started, we know that there were 10,000 cancer patients in Gaza. Now, we don't know how many are left. As my colleague said, and in the UNRWA, we're all hoping once ceasefire starts, a lot of us can help. We all can help. And the passion that is in this room, the passion in Baznas, and with us, all our cooperations, we will all cooperate to help and save lives. But let's all pray that the war will end, and we can do miracles if the war ends. We can rebuild Gaza and make it better than it was. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Bapak Ibu sekalian, tergambar bahwa tantangan-tantangan demikian sulit. Oleh karena itu, partnership is necessary. Kerjasama dengan banyak pihak, many institution itu very important. Sehingga kita bisa memperbanyak opportunity. Jika stuck di sini, kita bisa flow, mengalir di sini dan seterusnya. Oleh karena itu, kita Baznas akan mengajak sebanyak-banyak partner untuk bisa mencari kemungkinan agar bantuan-bantuan kita bisa masuk ke Gaza dengan aman, dengan selamat, dan bisa membantu saudara-saudara kita di sana. Tapi kita akan tetap optimistik. Dengan spirit membantu, Allah akan menolong kita. Innallaha ma'ana insyaallah. The second question please. Yang kedua silahkan. Ya, Bapak dulu and after that. Ya, silakan.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Pak moderator yang kami hormati, terima kasih atas waktu dan kesempatannya. Ada 3 pertanyaan, Pak, menggunakan bahasa Indonesia. Yang pertama, dari pagi tadi sesi pertama, sesi kedua kita baru mendapatkan informasi terkait dengan donasi yang dihimpun oleh Baznas yang jumlahnya hampir mencapai 300 sekian miliar. Kita belum tergambarkan negara-negara lain, Pak, di luar Indonesia, seperti negara-negara Timur Tengah, Arab Saudi, dan Yordania. Ini bagaimana gerakan penggalangan dana mereka untuk membantu saudara-saudara kita di Palestina? Itu pertanyaan pertama. Lalu pertanyaan kedua, kenapa negara-negara Timur Tengah ini identik dengan negara yang suka berperang, dengan negara-negara yang suka berkelahi, negara-negara yang hobi berkelahi. Kemudian yang ketiga, sampai sejauh mana peran PBB untuk mengatasi konflik yang terjadi di Palestina, wabil khusus melalui sekjen PBB-nya. Karena sampai saat ini kami lihat masih setakat menjadi penonton yang baik. Dan yang keempat terakhir, Pak, mungkin kita dari Baznas jangan hanya membantu obat-obatan, selimut dan lain sebagainya. Coba kita cari solusi lain. Satu, kita kirimkan, Pak, senjata-senjata tradisional kita seperti panah beracun, membunuh tapi tidak merusak lingkungan. Yang kedua, bambu runcing yang beracun, membunuh tapi dia tidak merusak lingkungan. Dan yang ketiga, kirim, Pak, dukun-dukun santet kita yang terkenal. Sekian, terima kasih. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Ya, kita lanjut, tafadhal. Ya, mubasyarah.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. مرة أخرى نشكر الإخوة المتحدثين، الأردن، تركيا، الأمم المتحدة، ونشكر مرة أخرى الإخوة في بزنس. سؤالي حقيقة مباشرة إلى الأستاذ باتريك. في ممثل الأونروا. نحن نعرف مؤسسة الأونروا هي هيئة منبثقة من مجلس الأمن، وهي هيئة رسمية. الأصل هي هيئة لابد أن يتم احترامها، لابد أن يتم تقديرها من قبل العالم الدولي. لكن الحقيقة الواقع اليوم هو خلاف ذلك. الاحتلال الإسرائيلي يستهدف أهلنا في غزة من خلال مدارس الأونروا، ويقصف الناس وهم متواجدون في مدارس الأونروا. الاحتلال الإسرائيلي قصف العيادات والمستشفيات الخاصة بالأونروا. الاحتلال الإسرائيلي يهجر الناس المتواجدين في الأونروا ويمنعهم من السكن، وعندما هدمت بيوتهم وهجروا يسكنون في هذه المؤسسات وهذه المدارس الدولية الذي بين قوسين الأصل أنها يتم احترامها، وهي مؤسسات دولية. الآن قبل أسبوع أو أسبوعين الاحتلال الإسرائيلي أصدر قرار بوقف أعمال الأونروا في قطاع غزة، ونحن نعرف أن المؤسسة الأكبر في فلسطين التي تعمل في فلسطين والمدن المحيطة بفلسطين، الأردن، لبنان، سوريا، هي الأونروا هي التي تقدم الخدمات لأهلنا اللاجئين. هنا أنا سؤالي حقيقة، ما هو الدور الذي تقوم به الأونروا اليوم لاحترام القانون الدولي الذي وضعه مجلس الأمن لهذه المؤسسات؟ اليوم الأونروا هي التي ترعى القانون الدولي، فإذا انتهك القانون الدولي من قبل هذا المحتل الإسرائيلي، فماذا بقي للعالم اليوم من مؤسسات؟ والتي كلنا اليوم في فلسطين وفي العالم كله فقدنا الثقة بالمؤسسات الدولية، لأن الاحتلال الإسرائيلي حقيقة لا يحترم هذه المؤسسات من خلال مجلس الأمن. فلذلك هناك لابد أن يكون حقيقة دور. فما هو دور إخواننا في المؤسسة الدولية لحماية حقوق الإنسان التي ينتهكها الاحتلال الإسرائيلي ليلا ونهارا على مرأى ومسمع كل العالم؟ ونحن نرى المجازر التي يرتكبها الاحتلال الإسرائيلي بحق أبنائنا وأطفالنا ونسائنا، حيث معظم الشهداء الذين ارتقوا في هذه الحرب هم من الأطفال ومن النساء، وهم موجودون في مؤسسات الأونروا داخل قطاع غزة وفلسطين. شكرا لكم.
Thank you very much. شكرا لكم. We have two questions about the role of UN and especially for UNRWA. Please, first time you answer the questions. Mr. James, تفضل.
All right. Maybe if you allow, I'll try to sort of take the questions in order, because like I understand, first we touched upon the question, what funding is coming from the Middle East? And I can answer this question for UNRWA, and I'm actually quite happy to announce that this year alone, from Middle Eastern donors, UNRWA has received $180 million US. So the outpour of solidarity and support is there, and we've also seen in previous crises that we as an organization have faced. For instance, in 2018, when the United States withdrew its funding completely, that exactly the same happened. So we had an outpour of support when in need from also Middle Eastern donors. So it's definitely there. I'll skip the second question on the question, why is the region, why does the region have a hobby? And go to the third one, which was on the role of the UN to overcome the conflict, and specifically the Secretary General. And I know the answer I can provide here is probably not very satisfactory, but we're always looking to the United Nations as this grand and hopefully powerful body, but what the United Nations is in essence is the composition of its member states. So this is exactly what we're facing here. So we as an international community, hopefully within the framework of the United Nations, need to come together to settle the question of Palestine once and for all. But this requires each and every one and each and every member state to come forward. And in a geopolitical context that we're currently operating, I'm not sure how the prospects for this stand in the immediate future. Finally, the question of Israel targeting UNRWA. What I can tell you is we have been very clearly rejecting the notion that one individual member state, through legislative action, can dismantle a UN organization that has a mandate from the General Assembly. This is simply not how it should or how it can work. And I'm also to say, like, because sometimes if you read the press, at this point you feel that UNRWA is already not operating in either Gaza or the West Bank, including East Jerusalem. And yes, we are. There is a looming threat because the legislation targeting us has an implementation period which currently is set at 90 days. So by the end of January, supposedly we would cease to be able to operate. But this is also a scenario that we, as I said, reject, and it would require Israel then to take over all the tasks as an occupying power that UNRWA is currently providing. No one I've been talking to says this would be possible. So I don't think it's unreasonable to expect that this implementation timeline will be pushed, and we also know that in the context of Israel, certain laws have never been implemented. And we really count on international support, international pressure on Israel to revoke these laws, or as a bare minimum, to freeze them, in order for us to be able to continue our work unobstructed. And when it comes to another aspect of your question, like the violation of international humanitarian law or international law more generally, when we're talking about not respecting the neutrality of UN installations, this is something that we've been pointing out repeatedly, not only we as UNRWA, the Secretary General, and the UN legal system also as such is looking into these violations, and there needs to be accountability. This is something we've been calling for, and it is absolutely crucial because, as you rightly pointed out, if this goes without accountability, this will leave a huge hole in the international rules-based order that we're operating in. And so basically the targeting of UNRWA at this point is targeting really the United Nations and international law as such, which I think we will all need to keep in mind that it is actually a very big issue that goes far beyond what we talk about. Thank you.
I would also like to answer the question about how's fundraising going on in the Middle East. I also can talk about Jordan. And we don't only fund in Jordan, we also fund in the Middle East and in the whole world. And since the Gaza war started, as I informed you that we took it as a responsibility that we, as the King Hussein Cancer Center, we have to get cancer patients from Gaza and cover their treatment. Since the war started, we were able to evacuate 90 cancer patients with 130 companion. And of course, the treatment cost for a cancer patient average is around $50,000 to $100,000 to $200,000 one patient. So the cost is high, and we cannot do it without raising funds. So we launched a campaign to support cancer patients from Gaza. and definitely the appeal was high. People came to support us from Jordan with small amounts. We depend on big volume, but small amounts of donation. At schools, the children, they do fundraising activities to support us, and from different organizations and corporates. Definitely the whole Arab world, and especially Jordan, we feel with the Palestinians, and we try to support them as Jordanians as much as possible. A lot of Palestinians live in Jordan as well, and a lot of the Palestinians, they have families in Jordan. We have families in Gaza, and definitely we will support them. So yes, fundraising is doing well, but as said, as much as we fundraise, there's still need for more, because also the plan is to get more cancer patients from Gaza. And once the war ends, we as the King Hussein Cancer Center, we will be part of building the health infrastructure in Gaza. This is our plan.
بس بدي أنوه لنقطة اللي حكاها الأستاذ بالنسبة للتبرعات. تبرعاتنا بالأردن، أنا بحكي على الأردن، تبرعاتنا بالأردن هي بالملايين، وما تم إرساله لغزة لغاية اللحظة هاي مالياً بنحكي بما يقارب 102 أو 186 مليون دينار أردني، بما يعادل 300 مليون دولار وصلوا مواد غذائية وإغاثية وطبية إلى غزة. بالإضافة إلى التبرعات لما طلع القرار بأنه ممكن إيقاف الأونروا، جلالة الملك اللي هو ملك المملكة الأردنية الهاشمية مباشرة تم التبرع من خلال خزينة الدولة ب6 ملايين دولار دعما للأونروا. شكرا.
Okay. And there is what I get the note for there is 3 points. I get the note about that question. And the first one, yes, there is many countries making the fundraising for the Palestine. But also there is one more thing. As an international NGO has the variety of projects all over the world. It's not just one country, there is the many countries. Unfortunately now, there is the many catastrophe, many crises, and many problems happening among the human. So the first one, we should raise the fundraise, we should make the fundraising, because the Israeli would like to make one perspective against the other people, which is those aid is not going to Palestine or Gaza. We aware this one, we aware this situation. So what we are going to do, what the international NGOs going to do, we are making the more fundraising, and we will be sending the more trucks and more help what they needed. Yes, it is not enough for their needy. But what we have to do, what's our responsibility? First, raising the awareness of the issue, and we should know who is doing this one. And the third one, we should work until we have to finish. That's the first note, what I got it. The second one, according to Islamic worldview, according to the philosophy, the fundamental, if you save the one life, you will save all the university. Isn't it, Ustaz? If you kill the one life alive, you will kill all the humanity. This is the fundamental. We are looking to way to save all the lives, because it comes from the Islamic worldview. But it is not the just point. We are not doing anything. We are just keeping the safe life for all the humans. The third one might be, there is the question about we are making this events, but we should know how it is efficient for the people. Now, can I ask one question also for the participant? Because all time we are taking the question, isn't it? When it happened, the 7 October, how we get the news from the Gaza? When it happened in the 7 October, how we got the news? How do we know what they are doing? Through the international TV? Nope. It came from the social media. It came from you. That's the things. That's why we need to make more forum, conference, panel, discussion place. Those are the things helping to us to teach to the society what's happening in there. Thank you so much.
Let us give them a very warm applause. Thank you very much, all our distinguished speakers and panelists. Syukran lakum jami'a sayyidi wa mulai ala ilqa an-nadwah al-qayyimah. Dan terima kasih kepada audiens yang masih bersama kami sampai jam sore ini. Mudah-mudahan ini menjadi catatan bagi kita di akhirat dan akan mendapatkan balasan dari Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. Bapak Ibu sekalian, kita akan akhiri diskusi sore hari ini dan selanjutnya kita akan serahkan kembali kepada pembawa acara dan terima kasih. Wallahul muwaffiq lakum thoriq. Zakanallah wa iyyakum ajma'in. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Terima kasih kepada moderator dan narasumber pada sesi kedua. Kami persilahkan untuk dapat kembali ke tempat yang telah disediakan. Thank you to the moderator and distinguished speakers on International Talk Session 2. You can please have a seat. Sekali lagi Bapak dan Ibu boleh berikan tepuk tangan yang meriah untuk moderator dan juga pembicara kita.
شكرا جزيلا للمنسق والمتحدثين في جلسة الثانية تسارعوا في دعوتهم للرجوع إلى أماكنهم التي جهزت لهم. تفضل.
Sampailah kita pada penghujung acara Baznas International Forum tahun 2024 yang telah dilaksanakan. Terima kasih atas kehadiran Bapak dan Ibu sekalian pada kegiatan ini.
وبذلك نصل إلى نهاية فعاليات منتدى هيئة الزكاة الوطنية الدولي لعام 2024. شكرا جزيلا على حضوركم كريميا في هذه الفعاليات اليوم.
Semoga acara ini dapat bermanfaat bagi kita semua dan sampai bertemu pada acara selanjutnya.
عسى الله أن يجعل هذه الفعاليات فيها النفع لنا جميعا ونطلع للقائكم في الفعاليات القادمة وهذا منا
Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Ada yang mau disampaikan?